Good morning, good people out there. Let's see. There we go. I definitely need a haircut. It's been 2 weeks beyond my haircut time. Looking kind of shabby. Okay, well, good morning. Here we are, Department of Career Services, where my name is Edward Bevilacqua. This is actually G.school. Our purpose is to help our students and interested people make their best way through this life, journey through this life, by providing you tools. We're going to do that, tools, providing you tools and helping you learn how to use them and when to use them and why to use them, etc. It's not just enough to give somebody a hammer and show them how to use it, but to show them how to build things, right? And when to build things and why to build things, or to use the hammer to break things down, etc. So you don't go to an Army helicopter, use a hammer to fix it. Whack, it's fixed. No, it's not fixed. So here we are, and our normal, okay, so let's go back, cut, we'll edit that out, right? Yeah. So our goal is to help our students and interested people through life. We do it in two primary ways. The number one most important way is the worksheet, which is attached down below or on LinkedIn, or on Facebook, our website. It's not hard to get the worksheet. It's updated every day. Take you about 4 hours if you went through the whole thing. So if you're somebody that was in jail or had nothing to do and you're really committed to moving forward in your life, it take you, basically 4 hours, a good day's worth of schoolwork. The second way is the podcast. It's the purpose of the podcast, of course, is to provide the worksheet, but the other thing is to help develop good habits or better habits. Let's say better habits, not necessarily good, just better habits. Or if you have good habits, slightly better habits. To learn how to do that. So it starts with, what is a habit? A habit is unconscious behavior. It's the thing you do that you're not aware you're doing. It's the brushing of your teeth, the driving of your car, the walking to the mailbox, all of that type of thing. The thing we do automatically. If there's a bag of cookies out, oatmeal raisin cookies, perhaps, that all of a sudden is empty, or the Fritos corn chips. Hey, there was a full bag here a little while ago. What happened? Unconscious behavior. Most of what we do is unconscious behavior, and that's a good thing. What we want to do is have better unconscious behavior, or always be unconsciously trying to be better, not the minimum, but slightly better every time. If we're going to be making pizzas, ultimately that becomes unconscious behavior. If the idea is just to be fast and mediocre, you can do that unconsciously. If the idea is to have every pizza is the perfect pizza, you can do that too. It's just how you program your brain to create the habit through repetition, creating a routine. So pragmatically, that's the most important part of this, is showing up, watching it every day, just slotting it in. You don't have to watch it live. Most people don't watch it live. In fact, almost nobody watches it live. Why? Because it's at an inconvenient time. They have some other routines or schedules. Out here in the West, Pacific time zone, getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning for most people is, no, that's just too early. Okay, right, got it. It's more important to do it every day than to do it live every day. The benefit of doing it live every day is you get to be part of history. Like right on time, Atticus on Atticus is here, creating that routine, showing up every day, making it part of the routine. And then from here, you go to the next thing, and you just focus on being a bit better. So cool. Now, so that's why what we do, who we do it for, is for our students and interested parties. This is not designed for people who are already successful. It's not designed for people who are already saved. Why not? Because you already are successful and saved. This is for the people who are not. So we're not asking you to change your beliefs about things. If you're saved, mazel tov. Good for you. That is great. Most people do not believe they're saved. Yes, where is Wadabevi? Where is the Wadabevi sightings? She's out there somewhere. She's in here. This is where she is. She's in our hearts. Right under Sergeant. Wadabevi is in our hearts and in our minds. And she's out there somewhere in Florida, probably doing Buddhist stuff right now. Buddha stuff, whatever. Okay, so 6 minutes in. What are we talking about today? Breakfast in the Park. Next Sunday, 7 o'clock. The Field Marshal is here. Okay, so next Sunday, breakfast in the park. What is it? Why should you care? Etc. Well, why should we care? I think it's simple. Jesus had two fundamental commandments. What? Love God with all your heart, mind, and soul. And number two started as love your neighbor as yourself, but that evolved to love one another as I have loved you. Because if you do the love your neighbor as you love yourself, that gets subject to interpretation, right? Well, this is how I love myself. And you want me to love you like that? Or I don't like myself, so I don't have to like you, type of thing. But if you say, well, love one another as I have loved you, it's easy to look at how Jesus loved people, and then continuing on 15:13 to be willing to give up one's life for another. And now it's pretty clear how you're supposed to act towards other people. So when there are people who have no place to call home, are orphans and widows, what other people call the homeless, like the boogeyman. Okay, they call the homeless. Those people, the unbathed, the great unbathed, are brothers and sisters who are not fortunate enough to have a bed to lie on, a Peloton, a refrigerator, restroom, etc. They don't have any of that stuff. We are called to do what we can to help. Would Jesus, love your neighbor as I have loved, love one another as I have loved you, would Jesus help somebody who was starving if he could? Would he provide nourishment? Yeah. So to the extent that we can do that, we should. Ergo, breakfast in the park. 1 hour. So here's the idea. 1 hour from 7 to 8. 7 to 8. Oh, and this is greatly inspired by RJUS 226, Restorative Justice, class number 226. Ministering at the Margins, Professor Amanda Quantz, out there on the bleeding edge. Not quite the bleeding edge, but she's out there. This is, I think, true to the Santa Clara tradition. Counterpoint in some ways that sometimes focused on the outcome more, I would say focused more on the outcome than the means. And starting from a position of if the status quo doesn't work, we need to change it. Yeah, so this class for me has taken a lot of ideas and kind of got them more gelled. Breakfast in the park would be an example of how to pragmatically help nourish people in the park. So what do we need? Water, we need coffee, bananas, oranges, stuff like that. Simple breakfast in the park. Spiritual exercise, all with the goal of helping the people move forward in life. Move forward in life by joining a church and doing the same thing. Love God with all your heart, mind, and soul. Love one another as I have loved you. So the question is, can we use this little breakfast in the park early in the morning when people are getting up, they're kind of mustering about, bumbling and stumbling along. Oh, it's another day. Is this all there is to life? It sucks. Is this all there is? Why me? I used to be somebody. I have these demons, these addictions, these problems, these pains. Is this all there is? And if this is all there is, if there's any opportunity I have to get something a little bit better than this hell I'm living in, I'm going to take it. No, that's not what we want. We want you to play the cards you're dealt in the best way possible. Everybody isn't going to get dealt a winning hand. And you know what? It's not that, 100 years of suffering done well, meaning follow the 2 commandments, if that leads to an eternity of everlasting life, it's worth it. And we can look at the Beatitudes from that way. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Because it's easier to get to everlasting life if you don't have a lot of temptations. Not necessarily more fun. I was expecting Atticus Fauna Atticus to bring that comment up at Trinity last night. Okay, so last night, yes, at Trinity, with a small group of people watching an episode of The Chosen, one of the first season 1, about the wedding at Cana. Fellowship. Yeah, so that would be kind of like what breakfast in the park would be. So next Sunday, 7 o'clock, breakfast in the park. 1 hour. This is what I envision. So maybe we do it that the music starts at 7, 7:10, little introduction. What are we doing? Why are we doing what we're doing? How are we doing it? 7:30, let's say maybe 10 minutes of 12 minutes of whatever, 15 minutes of what are we doing? Why are we doing it? How are we doing it? What's the purpose? And then at 7:30, food is distributed. And we're packed 7:45, packing up 8 o'clock. Gone. We're gone. It's 1 hour. And hoping to get the people, whoever wants to go to church, to go to church. Maybe the prayer team will stay behind to kind of shepherd the people who want to go to church after that. Kind of join a community. So some of the things we will distribute: food, Maybe we can get a bunch of t-shirts, selection of t-shirts from the Methodist Church, the clothing thing, or from our clothing stuff. A bunch of shirts for people so at least they can have a clean shirt. Sunscreen. Got a lot of sunscreen donations. Maybe coffee mugs. Give everybody a coffee mug. Have a couple Sharpies out there. They can write their name on it. And yeah, coffee, water, fruit, some other type of breakfast, some sustenance, a little bit of the word, a little bit of exercise, and that would be it. So let's think about that. Pray on that. Anybody has any ideas? Please send me a text or an email if you have ideas. I'm just expecting a few people there, nothing great, no crowds. We're there to distribute food to people and help them have some meaning and purpose in their lives, provide a little bit of hope. They're not alone. There are people who care, and to the extent they want to move forward, we are there to hold their arm and help them avoid stumbling. All right. So with that, we're going to say and cut. So Matt, we have Judge Scotty coming today. Judge Scotty and Nicholas Scotty going to be up at around 10 at Star. Then we're bringing them to Pratt. If Maria et al. Can be there, figure out how to do the bicycles, and go from there. All right. All righty then. So let's see, what else? Okay, just going to say and cut. And cut.